A young man just arrived in ancient times and was beaten up publicly by the prime minister who wanted to die. It's because the young man was the only heir to the richest man in the modern world. But when he was about to inherit the trillion-dollar inheritance, he suddenly fainted and was transported to the Dacian dynasty. At that moment, the system suddenly sent a message saying the host needed to make a heroic sacrifice to return to the modern era and inherit the trillion-dollar inheritance. Making a heroic sacrifice is just committing suicide, right? In the corrupt Dacian dynasty, this is too simple. At this time, the great minister Qin Xiang, who controlled the government, just entered the court. Soldiers suddenly brought an urgent report, informing the empress that the 300,000 troops of the Tuju had already reached the border. The Tuju envoy was also waiting outside the palace. Hearing this, the empress wanted to hear the opinions of the ministers. But at this time, the great minister Qin Xiang, for his own interests, directly made the empress sign a treaty to cede territory and pay indemnities. He was the great minister Qin Wang, who controlled the government. Anyone who opposed him would be easy to die. Seeing the great minister Qin Xiang's actions, the young man immediately thought of a way to commit suicide. He immediately kicked the prime minister to the ground and publicly insulted him, claiming they were the parasites in the court and even a traitorous old villain who sold the country before the war. The empress saw that there was still a loyal minister who dared to oppose the prime minister, and she immediately liked the young man. However, the prime minister saw that the young man was just a small official and used the crime of rebellion to prepare to execute him publicly. Come on, kill me. You can't kill all the people in the world. If I, Gucheng, die, there will be future generations. Hearing the young man's inspiring words, the empress decided to protect the young man in front of the prime minister. Just as the prime minister was about to strike the young man with his sword, the empress rushed forward and knocked the prime minister back with one palm. Your Majesty, what does this mean? The prime minister cannot be killed. This official, in front of all the ministers, openly insulted me. Do you want to protect him? Minister Gu, your emotions are too intense and you spoke without thinking. Prime Minister, don't be so petty. If the prime minister wants to kill him, why not kill me first? Hearing the empress's words, the prime minister had no choice but to give up. However, at this moment, the Tuju envoy recklessly entered the palace and boldly told the empress that the 300,000 Tuju troops were already gathered at the border. If Dacian didn't sign the contract today, they would immediately march into the country. When the great minister saw the envoy coming, he immediately bowed down to flatter him and told the envoy that the young man opposed the empress signing the treaty with the envoy. The envoy immediately prepared to teach the young man a lesson, but was scared by the young man's courage. 1 inch of land is 1 inch of bone, 1,000,000 people are 1,000,000 soldiers. Our Han men never fear foreign enemies, but we are afraid of traitors selling the country. Don't talk nonsense. It's so easy to say. A single sentence, ceding territory and paying indemnity. If you dare to say no, I'll split you alive. The young man saw his goal was about to be achieved and quickly took the opportunity to scold the envoy a few more times to provoke their anger. The empress felt relieved by the young man's actions. Facing the threat of the Tuju envoy, the young man didn't hesitate and directly extended his neck towards the Tuju. Seeing the young man humiliate the Tuju's dignity, the envoy immediately drew his sword and slashed at the young man. No way, you don't even cut me, you crazy fool. It seems I need to add some stronger medicine. Minister Gucheng, don't be so disrespectful.